Let's talk about how we learn for a minute and talk about practice sessions. You know, I get a lot of questions from my students and from emails. How often should I practice? And the short answer is that you ought to play every day, at least for 15 or 20 minutes every day. And this does a couple of things. First off, short-term memory and long-term memory are two different sections of the brain. And in order to transfer knowledge from short-term to long-term, you need to review that knowledge daily. That's why it's good when you're learning history, for instance. You go over your dates and places every day for a week, and you'll burn it into your long-term memory. Same thing here. You know, you're teaching your fingers a skill set. There's muscle memory involved, and eventually what you want is for your fingers to just know where to go on the bass without having to think about it. And the way to do that is to play those exercises every day and burn them from short-term into long-term memory. Okay? As far as how long a practice session, in the very beginning, you're not going to want to go more than 15 or 20 minutes because you're going to start feeling a little soreness in your finger pads. And that's an indication that that abrasion is going to turn into a blister if you keep going. And you don't want blisters. You want to build up calluses, that's fine, but you don't want to build up blisters. So 15, 20 minutes, then take a break for an hour or two, and if you want to come back to it, please do. Put another 15 or 20 minutes in. And you can actually find several times throughout the day that you can get that 20 minutes in. Once you've started to build up the calluses on your fingers and they're used to the strings, you can start increasing your time. But do it slowly. Just add an extra 5 or 10 minutes at a time. And I know we're all impatient. We want to do it right now, but this is an important time to slowly build up. And if you do that, within a few weeks, you'll be able to do an hour at a whack without a problem. And I normally recommend to my students that you quit at an hour and at least walk away from it for 10 or 15 minutes. Let your brain process the information. Let it kind of settle in. If you go too long, you start to overwhelm your brain and you don't really retain as much as you could. So you take a few minutes, go wash your hands, get yourself a drink, you know, something like that. Take a few deep breaths, do a few stretches for your back, and then you can sit down and do it again. Now, I have a lot of students, you know, young or old, that say, well, you know, I'm too busy during the week because of school, or I'm too busy because of my family or my job, or, you know, things like that. And look, I get that, okay? You know, I've been on both ends. But you can find 15 minutes a day. Even if you can't really extend the practice time during the week for whatever reason, you can find 15 minutes. I know that 99% of the people that watch this, if you really look at your schedule, there's something that you've done for 15 minutes that you didn't really absolutely have to do, like watch the TV, play a video game, whatever. So if you really want to play the bass, then you need to make that commitment, and you need to get that 15 minutes in. Then on the weekends, on, you know, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, when you have more time, you can do more 15-minute sessions with your breaks. Build yourself up to where you can do an hour at a time. And if you're going to play all Saturday afternoon, totally understand that. Just make sure you take a break about every hour. Let your brain reset. Let your fingers rest a little bit, okay? So, muscle memory, working from short-term memory to long-term memory, those are the reasons you want to play every day. You want to start out with 15 or 20 minutes at a whack to let your fingers get used to the bass strings. And if you go longer than an hour, try to take a break every hour so that you let your brain reset. Fair enough? Let's keep moving on. Keep thumping, y'all.